In business, people usually remember outcomes the most. A company gets acquired, reaches a huge revenue milestone, or a major deal finally closes, and that moment is what everyone talks about. What often gets overlooked is all of the effort that came before it. The early years rarely look impressive from the outside. They are made up of learning how things work, figuring out how people respond under pressure, and understanding what keeps a business stable even when plans fall apart. Keeping operations on track, addressing problems as they come up, and managing costs may seem routine, but those are the decisions that determine whether an organization can reach those larger outcomes in the first place. For Blaine Tanner, Arizona entrepreneur, those early years laid the foundation for a career defined less by major moments of success and more by making progress consistently. Over more than 3 decades, his work has taken him from plastics manufacturing to executive leadership, business ownership, sustainable materials, and eventually structured finance on Wall Street. He built his career from the ground up, with each stage building on the one before it. Tanner entered the plastics manufacturing industry after deciding to pursue business instead of a career in professional hockey. After finishing school, he joined a small company in an entry-level role, working in production and operations. As he gained experience in the industry, his responsibilities expanded across different parts of the business. Over time, that growth led him into executive leadership, where he went from managing tasks to helping shape the direction of the company. With that transition, the way he made decisions changed as well. The focus moved away from quick fixes and immediate needs toward longer-term impact. Tanner learned to slow down, ask more thoughtful questions, and take the time to fully understand each situation before moving forward. Listening carefully and doing thorough due diligence, especially when it comes to partnerships, has always been a critical part of how I operate, he said. Experience taught him that while strong relationships are essential in business, trust is not something that can be assumed early on. Instead, it has to be developed gradually. He paid close attention to how people handled responsibility, whether they followed through on commitments, and how they made decisions under pressure. Looking at those patterns allowed him to form partnerships that were not just productive, but long-lasting. His leadership style evolved alongside his role. Rather than taking a rigid approach, he found a balance between stepping in when needed and giving people the space to do their work. I would describe my leadership style as a balance between a light touch and hands-on involvement when necessary, he explained. I trust capable people to do what they do best, but I remain engaged in key decisions. He prioritized bringing in people who were not only capable, but dependable and willing to take ownership of their work. Technical skill mattered, but it was only part of the equation. Consistency, judgment, and attitude played equally important roles in how the team performed. I've always believed that success starts with people, he said. Surrounding yourself with individuals who are not only highly capable but also bring strong character and positive energy is critical. Clear communication, follow-through, and shared responsibility were not just encouraged, but expected, especially as the business continued to grow. I've consistently focused on building teams that strive for excellence and operate with a best-in-class mindset, he said. Integrity, accountability, and long-term thinking have always been at the center of my decision-making. That combination of experience, discipline, and team development gradually positioned the company for its next phase. When it was eventually acquired by Menasha Corporation, Tanner helped guide the process while retaining an ownership stake, gaining a broader perspective on what makes a business valuable beyond its day-to-day performance. After helping guide one company through a successful acquisition, Tan moved into a different point in his career. Instead of continuing within an established organization, he set out to build a business of his own. He founded a plastics manufacturing company that initially brought in about $500,000 in annual revenue. Everything from production workflows to hiring, supplier relationships, and daily operations was built from scratch. Demand eventually grew, and so did the pressure. A higher volume of orders meant increased production, tighter coordination between teams, and a greater need to keep everything running smoothly as the pace picked up. Over the next 10 years, Tanner scaled the company from $500,000 in annual revenue to $25 million. By the time the company was sold, it had become a business that could run on its own, with strong systems and teams in place to support its growth. For Blaine Tanner, that mattered as much as the outcome itself. Financial success was never the starting point. It was the result of creating something that worked. I'm most proud of building businesses that created value, supported employees, and delivered strong outcomes over time, he said. The ability to consistently execute and grow ventures is what I consider the true measure of success. Once his company had sold, Blaine Tanner partnered with a technology firm, where he developed a sustainable materials line. While the setting changed, the day-to-day realities of running a business did not. Working across different countries and markets taught me that the world is far more connected than it appears, he said. The more time he spent working internationally, the more that connection stood out. Challenges don't disappear when you change environments, he said. You carry your experiences and mindset with you. That realization reinforced the importance of adaptability and resilience, which became foundational to how I approached both business and personal growth. Tanner learned that growth was less about starting over in a new place, and more about applying what he already knew in a different setting. There were setbacks along the way, some expected, others not, but he always found a way to work through them, believing those moments can either define you or change you. The most important lesson I learned is simple: never give up, he said. If you truly believe in an idea or a path, you have to pursue it with conviction, regardless of the obstacles. For other entrepreneurs facing similar challenges in their careers, he stresses the importance of staying focused on solutions and using every resource available. Setbacks are inevitable, but persistence is what separates those who succeed from those who don't, he said. If you remain committed and adaptable, you can overcome almost any challenge. Toward the end of his career, Tanner moved into structured finance, founding and managing an investment fund focused on acquiring long-term lease assets. The work involved identifying assets, improving them through credit enhancement, and preparing them to be brought to market. Those assets were ultimately taken to Wall Street. Today, Blaine Tanner is retired and devoting more of his energy to family and personal growth. After decades spent developing and leading businesses, his priority is to live more intentionally. Giving back is now a big part of that. Supporting causes that matter to him and staying involved in the community offers a different kind of fulfillment, one that goes beyond business. It's important to me to use my experience and resources in ways that have a positive impact, he said. Looking ahead, Tanner is thinking about balance and what he wants this next chapter to look like. On a personal level, he hopes to find a life partner to share it with. Professionally, he remains open to the right opportunity, including the possibility of one final, meaningful deal.